Hello! Welcome to today's immigration tidbit. Okay, so there's actually 3 or 4 other parts of this question. Basically, I guess you applied for asylum. You did not get it, although you didn't get a denial. And you applied for an extension of your work permit, and they denied it because they said your asylum was granted. And apparently it wasn't granted, and now you're saying the appeal time for the EAD has passed. I assume that's what you're saying. First of all, it's easy enough to determine if your asylum was granted or not. To be honest, it either was or it wasn't. So I suspect what might have happened is when you sent in the EAD, the work permit request for renewal, you might have put the wrong A number. Let's say you accidentally put 1 digit, or let's say something was off a little bit, and someone at the USCIS plugged that in, or you put the right one but they accidentally typed the wrong one, which is probably more likely the case. And if that's what happened, then what they happened to type in showed that it was approved. So it's not really a matter of appealing, because you can't really appeal a denial of a work permit because they incorrectly stated that the case was denied. You can do 2 things. You can do a motion to reopen the decision, but it takes a lot of work to do a motion to reopen, and in the end of the day, it may or may not even be granted. Or you can just apply for the work permit again, which would probably be the best thing to do, is to apply for the work permit again and include what happened on the first one and include everything in there to show that in fact it wasn't approved. Now, I know that a lot of people who apply for asylum are more interested in getting the work permit than the asylum itself, which I can understand. That you need a work permit to eat, you need a work permit to legally work and so forth. But at the end of the day, it's the asylum that that's more important. Because if the asylum is denied, what's the use of having a work permit for another 6 months if you only get a denied asylum? So I don't know where you're from, and I don't know what the facts of your case are. But there's a lot of people who think that all they have to do is come here, fill out an asylum application, submit it online, and they're in, no problem. First things first, the reality is about 15% of asylum cases get approved. That means that on average, you've got an 85% chance that it'll be denied, okay? Now, obviously that's a broad statement. It doesn't mean for sure it will or it won't, but that's just statistically speaking, and you have to look at statistics to have a general idea of what you're in for. So if there's an 85% chance more or less that your asylum is going to get denied, you can't just think that all you need to do is go online, fill out the application, submit it, and you're in. Okay, that is not the best path to take. You need to do everything you can to make that asylum case the strongest it could be. I've had people who try to do this, and they list like 25 different reasons that they want asylum, of which 24 of them legally do not qualify. And the one that did qualify, they don't put any supporting evidence. So if there's any time to hire someone who knows what they're doing, it would probably be an asylum application. I mean, just think about it. Even if you had 10 years of education wherever you're from, if you're not a U.S. immigration attorney, you don't know U.S. immigration law. Okay? All you really know is that if you've been persecuted by, for one reason or another, you can come into the U.S. But the fact is that there are lots of sub-caveats to asylum. There's lots of things that need to be proven. It needs to be done in a coherent manner. And you need to keep all the stuff out that doesn't make any difference. Okay, that doesn't help your case, because you know the reality is if you put an asylum application and half of it doesn't make any difference, the officer is going to think the only reason you're putting that in is because the stuff that does make a difference is weak, okay, and doesn't have enough support. So I've let you know what you need to do to get your work permit going, but more importantly, you need to supplement most likely the asylum application and make sure that it has what it needs to in order to try to get past that 85% chance of denial. Okay?